From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily for Wednesday, September 1st. We're going to have the most comfortable start to our day in weeks. This will lead for a marvelous afternoon. Some breezy winds out of the north, and those winds will hold our temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. So great day to get outside and enjoy it. Military crews are searching for 5 people missing after a Navy helicopter crashed into the ocean. It crashed off the coast of San Diego yesterday afternoon. Officials say it happened during a routine flight from an aircraft carrier. One person has been rescued so far. No word yet on what may have caused the crash. Governor Holcomb will speak about Camp Atterbury being chosen as one of the sites that will temporarily house Afghan refugees. We'll stream the governor's remarks at 10 this morning. According to the White House, refugees are expected to arrive in Indiana in the coming days. Officials say those going to Camp Atterbury have been helping the U.S. military, and the security screening process has already started for many of them.
People coming through the refugee program in general it's actually the hardest way to get into the United States, the refugee program. The level of security screening that's happened is incredibly intense, involves multiple federal agencies. For many of these Afghans in particular, they're going through it a second time.
Upon arrival, the White House says they will receive a medical and psychological screening. All refugees will receive a work visa, social security number, and eventually housing. People with family already in the U.S. will be reunited with them. Members of Indiana's congressional delegation are weighing in on the plans for Camp Atterbury. Republican Senator Mike Braun said in a statement, it is extremely important that all local units of government and first responders know who they are, how many, and what part of the vetting process they're in, so Hoosiers do not suffer the fallout of President Biden's disastrous withdrawal. Representative Andre Carson, a Democrat, posted on Twitter, "Now is a good time for all of us to remember that America is made stronger by immigrants and refugees, and we should welcome our Afghan brothers and sisters with open arms." President Biden is defending his decision to withdraw American troops from Afghanistan. In an address to the nation, the president said that the real choice in Afghanistan was between leaving and escalating. He believes that the chaotic end to the war happened because of decisions made long ago.
I was not going to extend this forever war, and I was not extending a forever exit. Let me be clear. Leaving August the 31st is not due to an arbitrary deadline. It was designed to save American lives.
According to State Department officials, around 100 American citizens are still in Afghanistan. Biden says the U.S. government is still working to get those people out. And lawmakers are working across the aisle to honor the troops killed in Kabul, including Logansport native Humberto Sanchez. Republican Representative Lisa McClain from Michigan introduced a bill yesterday to award congressional gold medals to the 13 service members killed last week in the ISIS-K attack at the airport. It's getting support from dozens of Republicans and Democrats. Forbes reports the bill's co-sponsors include Indiana Representatives Jim Banks, Larry Bouchon, Andre Carson, Trey Hollingsworth, Greg Pence, Victoria Spartz, and Jackie Walorski. A professor at IU Bloomington who grew up in Afghanistan tells News 8 his family is still stuck there. News 8's Sierra Hignite spoke with the professor who says his family is also now fearing for their lives.
Nazif Sharani came to the United States to complete his education in 1967. Since then, he's taught at prestigious universities across the country and for the last 31 years has been a professor at Indiana University. Many of his family members, though, are stuck in Afghanistan under Taliban rule.
They have done nothing but harm the people in the country. And as such, people are afraid of them. They're scared.
Sharani says that because of his efforts in educating and spreading the truth about the Taliban, as well as his family members' jobs connected to national government in Afghanistan, they're worried that they will soon become targets of terrorists.
It's important to remember that Taliban do not need reason to harm people. They can do it, and they have done it.
In the 2 weeks since the Taliban took over Kabul, there have already been civil rights setbacks, with women's rights becoming more and more limited.
They are now saying that university students have to segregate and they should have separate classes, separate teachers, and so forth. For a poor country like Afghanistan, that's an impossibility.
Sharani says that despite promises made by the Taliban, people living in Afghanistan are on edge.
They have already imposed, despite what they're saying, that they're going to call amnesty and not take revenge and not bother people. The truth is, what they have been doing is the opposite of that. People have been shot, people have been hanged, people have been searched, and their properties confiscated.
As for those who are awaiting escape from Afghanistan without an official American presence in the country, Sharani says that the situation isn't favorable, especially for Afghan citizens who have no paperwork connecting them to another country.
To describe it anything other than grim is probably not correct. The situation is really scary for those who are there. If they're American citizens or green card holders, permanent residents who have been left behind, it is very serious.
That was Sierra Hignite reporting. The professor says he has spent the recent days working on paperwork and going through the proper channels here in the United States to try to help. He says if this doesn't work, he isn't sure what more they'll be able to do. In news away from the Afghanistan crisis, IMPD says no seatbelts, car seats, or booster seats were in use when a truck crashed, killing a man and seriously injuring 2 children. It happened yesterday evening near 10th and Gibson on the east side. According to police, the truck went off the road while trying to pass where there are double yellow lines. The truck crashed into a cement ditch. The driver died. Medics rushed 2 young passengers to Riley Hospital for Children. Officials say a 4-year-old was in critical condition and an 8-year-old was last listed as serious but stable. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett is warning that stricter COVID-19 restrictions may come back if hospitalizations keep climbing. He says getting vaccinated against the virus is the best way to keep the city open.
Just get a vaccination. That's all they need to do. If everybody would get vaccinated, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But because people choose to not get vaccinated, they also, it seems to me, a little bit counterintuitively, can't say, well, I'm not going to get vaccinated, but I don't want any restrictions. I mean, you can't have it both ways.
The state health department says more than 11% of COVID-19 tests are coming back positive in Marion County right now. State health officials also say 97% of COVID cases currently in Indiana hospitals are people who are not vaccinated. New polling shows more people are warming up to COVID-19 vaccines. The Axios Ipsos COVID-19 index shows opposition to the shot is at its lowest point so far. 14% currently give it a hard pass, saying they are not at all likely to get the vaccine. And in those with a softer, not very likely, and a total of 20% are against the idea. Both are the lowest numbers since the survey started. The index is also tracking whether parents plan to get their children vaccinated. 68% say they likely will or already have. 31% feel the opposite. And the number of U.S. children hospitalized with COVID-19 is at an all-time high. According to the CDC, an average of 338 children were admitted per day between Monday and Sunday last week. That's up 9.6% from the 7-day average a week before, when 308 children were hospitalized per day. In Indiana, last week's average totals 9 children hospitalized every day. Athletes abused by Larry Nassar may be close to a final settlement with USA Gymnastics. According to a new report from ESPN, hundreds of women and the Indianapolis-based organization filed a proposal for a $425 million settlement in U.S. bankruptcy court. That's nearly twice the previous settlement offer in February of 2020, $215 million. Nassar is serving what amounts to a life sentence for sex crimes, including sexually abusing more than 150 girls and women while he worked for USA Gymnastics or Michigan State University. Firefighters in California are worrying about wind. They're trying to knock down the Caldor fire burning near Lake Tahoe, and the forecast is not good. The National Weather Service expects gusts up to 30 miles an hour, further fueling the dry brush that's burning. The Caldor fire has already burned hundreds of homes, and thousands more buildings are threatened. CAL FIRE says the fire scar now covers nearly 200,000 acres. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is warning telecommunication companies to not comply with a request from the House of Representatives. The House Select Committee that's looking into the January 6th riot on Capitol Hill wants the companies to preserve phone records of some lawmakers from that day. In a statement posted on Twitter, McCarthy writes, if these companies comply with the Democrat order to turn over private information, they are in violation of federal law and subject to losing their ability to operate in the United States. McCarthy added that a Republican majority will not forget. The local golf community is remembering a PGA pro and former Ball State athlete who died from cancer. Indiana Golf announced Brittany Kelly's passing last night. Kelly was recently named the 2022 Indiana PGA Golf Professional of the Year. She was also the Section Assistant of the Year in 2017 and a three-time Indiana PGA Women's Player of the Year. That award is now permanently named for Kelly. Ball State Athletics is scheduled to posthumously induct her into its Hall of Fame later this month. Indiana Golf's assistant executive director said in a statement, saying goodbye to a good friend like BK is hard, but I take away how kind and caring she was, how much she cherished family, and to not take a single day for granted. Brittany Kelly was 32 years old. A new weather threat looms along the Gulf Coast, where more than 1 million people are without power following Hurricane Ida. Now, the energy company there did say it has restored some people's power in the eastern part of Louisiana, but still, lots and lots of people are without. Some people who stayed during the storm are now facing dangerous conditions without air conditioning. The remnants of Ida are carving a path of destruction. In western Virginia, one person is missing after heavy rain caused flash flooding. Nearly 24 homes have been ripped from their foundation. And Indiana Task Force 1 is working to keep people safe after the storm. The team's helping New Orleans and areas south of the city. In an update on social media, the group's posting pictures of team members delivering water and other supplies in Jefferson Parish. The task force doing secondary searches as well to make sure everyone's healthy and accounted for. The 45-member team left Indiana last week and is working alongside teams from Missouri, Colorado, and Ohio. A couple is sharing the legacy of their son with other families who are facing a very specific, painful situation. The Jeffers family in Noblesville lost their baby Scotty before he was born. They told News 8's Brenna Donnelly that they were blindsided by even the possibility that their perfect pregnancy could end so tragically, and they found a way to share information and comfort with others walking the same path. Here's Brenna reporting.
So we didn't know bad things happen in pregnancy or at delivery or after birth.
Doctors told Kathleen and Stephen Jeffers they had a textbook perfect pregnancy with their daughter. Then in 2018, they announced baby number 2.
7 months pregnant, I went for a routine appointment and found out that Scotty's heart had stopped beating. And from there, our worlds had just been rocked.
They remember all that happiness snuffed out. Kathleen delivered and Scotty was laid to rest, but they decided his legacy shouldn't be mourned.
It was extremely lonely and scary and sad, and we knew that we didn't want other parents to feel as helpless.
Now they create Scotty boxes that go directly to a grieving parent. The first message is a letter from Kathleen. Underneath that, a special baby book, a necklace, and keepsakes. There's also resources for funerals, counseling, lactation, and information for dads.
Your mind is so far away from normal life once this happens that you have no idea what to do. So the resources in there are literally just holding your hand.
The response has been positive, both from the families and even the hospital staff who had struggled with how to handle a grieving patient in the delivery room.
You are too perfect, and God has huge plans for you.
The Jeffers say this is just the beginning.
We're hopeful to be able to continue Scotty's legacy, through something that is positive and can help others.
Again, that was Brenna Donnelly reporting. The boxes cost the Jeffers around $100, and they're pulled from the Scotty Michael Foundation. They hope to someday help fund funeral arrangements and medical expenses for families in need. They are having a golf fundraiser on September 10th at Plum Creek in Carmel. All of those details are on wishtv.com. And a deadly crash at a bus stop has bus drivers pleading for help. Authorities say the stop arm was out and lights were on when a car hit a Columbus teenager as she crossed a street. Other bus drivers say people ignore them far too often. We talked to Megan O'Neill, who has driven school buses for Shelby Eastern Schools for 2 years. She described close calls and her frustration with people who don't have patience.
Preschoolers are in 5-point harnesses. So by the time we get them unbuckled, their backpacks on, and in the winter, their coats and things, you're looking at 35 to 45 seconds that person may be stopped behind me or in front of me. So just having a little patience, they're not saving that much time by running that stop arm.
State law requires you stop when a school bus extends its arm. Shelby Eastern Schools plan to have cameras on all buses to catch people who break the rules. Investigators in Columbus Deaf have said that onboard cameras may help in that case. A new partnership in Plainfield is helping to capture crime in real time. The police department is planning to install cameras that can read license plates. The technology will send real-time alerts to police when a stolen vehicle or known suspect enters the jurisdiction. It can also alert officers if a vehicle connected to an amber or silver alert is detected. Police say the cameras will not be used for minor traffic or parking violations. The cameras are currently used in Hancock County and Noblesville. According to the department, it reduces crime by up to 70%. The 53-man Colts roster reports to practice this afternoon. We'll hear from Chris Ballard today for the first time since the team made its cuts. News 8's Olivia Ray has the details on the notable moves.
It's not the end of your journey. It's just a step in your journey, and everyone's got their own story and their own journey through the NFL, and that you're just writing your own.
Cut day, one of the harshest realities of the NFL, where rosters are trimmed down to 53. And for those players who have lived through losing their jobs before, they feel those emotions all over again as West 56th Street becomes a little less crowded.
After the day, before the day, everybody has the same mindset and goal in mind, but it's obviously a hard day, to see, a lot of guys that you've grinded through training camp with, get cut, all the... for me, I'm always wishing guys good luck. And also, hopefully we can bring a lot of those guys back on practice squad.
And now that the deadline has come and gone for the shoe, no crazy moves. But here are the cut line keepers. With 7 deep in the receiver room, Mike Strawn, Desmond Patman, and Ashton Doolin all stay put. Same with a couple DNs, Isaac Rochelle and Ben Banagoo, who were on the bubble. But the Colts do say goodbye to tackle Will Holden and center Joey Hunt to pair with a trade to fill in on the left side.
We made a trade with the Eagles for Matt Pryor. Feel like Matt can come in here, and obviously he's had some exposure to what we do, being there with Nick there. He's a big 6'7", 3-some. He's a big man, strong. Feel like he can add some depth and help us out.
Teams are set. Almost time to play ball. Olivia Ray, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And I have some exciting news to share. An announcement here at Wish TV. QB1 is joining the News 8 sports team. Carson Wentz is coming on board as Wish TV's exclusive Colts player analyst for this season. He'll work alongside sports director Anthony Calhoun and our award-winning Sports 8 team. Starting September 8th, Wentz will go one-on-one with AC to preview the upcoming week's matchup in a special segment called Wednesday with AC. The weekly feature will air Wednesday evenings at 6 on Wish TV. And our Game of the Week features 2 powerhouse high school teams. Center Grove visits Carmel Friday night. You can see every play live on our sister station, Mindy TV 23. The action starts at 7 o'clock. And to business headlines now. The Social Security Trust Fund most Americans rely on, at least partly for their retirement, will run out of money in 12 years, 1 year sooner than expected, according to an annual government report. And they are citing COVID as the reason. This threatens to shrink retirement payments and increase healthcare costs for Americans in old age sooner than expected. Southwest pilots have sued the airline, alleging that the carrier has been making unilateral changes to working conditions, including no longer paying them during quarantines following COVID-19 exposure. Tensions between Southwest and some of its labor groups have flared during the pandemic. Unions are trying to form at some Starbucks stores. Starbucks is promising to directly address employee concerns after workers at 3 Buffalo area shops filed petitions with the National Labor Relations Board asking for a vote on union representation. They're concerned about understaffing, unpredictable scheduling, and insufficient training. Starbucks does not have any unions at its more than 8,000 company-owned stores in the United States. Unfinished tractors and pickup trucks are piling up as components run short. Shortages of mechanical parts, commodity materials, and electronic components containing semiconductor chips have been disrupting manufacturing across multiple industries for months. And Procter & Gamble, the biggest U.S. manufacturer of toilet paper and paper towels, said it's ramping up production as demand increases. The moves come as several retailers said P&G is limiting shipments of paper products to stores. P&G says government stimulus, preparation for back to school, and rising COVID-19 cases have Americans buying more household staples. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.